It can cost you, but I was impressed. Two, one, mark. 5 minutes, 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1A, our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes. The fastest race boats in the world can now come out on the race course. The first boat away from the pit area is the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. So that was the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing. Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Homestreet. It is driven by Dylan Runny. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to be joined by the bright red Beacon Electric U8, driven by J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael Kelly's teammate, Corey Peabody, drives the U9. It's predominantly white. It is the Beacon Plumbing. And rounding out our 4-boat field in our Heat 1A is the white trimmed in black and gold Goodman Real Estate. It's U91. It is driven by Andrew Tate. Our boats can cut the race course. I'm expecting we're going to see some of that happen here very quickly. But before we get to that, as J. Michael Kelly is going to cut across the race course, the start of our Heat 1A is just a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the fastest race boats in the world. John Walters, I made a comment that I expected a couple of the boats to cut the race course. They all did.
Yeah, the race started the minute they pushed the button to leave the dock there, and you can see they're all running fairly close together. The start is huge here. These are only 3-lap preliminary races, so if somebody gets a jump on you, it's tough, as fast as all these boats are, to make up that difference and make up that distance. And you're going to see guys that want to have the inside lane. They're going to try to drag guys up there early so that they can maybe get them to jump the gun or make a mistake. You have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. That's kind of a judgment call now, and as Dylan cuts across the infield here to try and pick up that inside lane as everybody else is coming down the front straightaway here. So it's going to be a battle from the very beginning. Just like we said, this is a heavyweight championship, but it's going to be 4 different fighters.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're coming up on 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, for those of you that have never seen this before, we're not racing yet. That doesn't mean we're not in the middle of a competition right now. Watch J. Michael Kelly. Is he going to make a move? I thought maybe he might jump across to the backstretch, but no, that would have been a legal maneuver, but he did not. He went all the way down to the bottom of the race course as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start. Remember, our boats do not have assigned lanes. They are jockeying for position. So wherever somebody is on the course right now, that may be where they want to be. It may not be where they want to be. As John was talking earlier, you've got to have a plan B, C, and sometimes D when you get out on the race course. We will begin our 3-lap preliminary Heat 1A in 1 minute and 50 seconds. John, they're all up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runny's going to come off first.
Yeah, the way this race course is set up, at the 1 minute gun, you want to be between, about the apex of turn 1 here and the exit pin. It's a short run down that back straightaway, especially as fast as these guys go. So you're going to see everybody try to get down there, and like you mentioned, you're either at where the spot you want to be on the race course or where you would think you want the competition to think you want to be there. So a lot of this is just head games, and a lot of it's playing the game.
And another piece to this puzzle that we talked about earlier, but not yet during this heat, the boats cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. So that really affects how you fight for these positions. You can't just go park in a lane at the top end of the race course. You have to maintain at least 80 miles an hour. That will be determined by the officials when we finish the heat, and the boats come back to the pit area and they look at the data recorder. So now inside 1 minute, they were pretty much where you were talking about, John, and right now it looks as though Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street, is going to sit in lane number 1 up the backstretch. That's going to be his teammate Andrew Tate sitting in 2, lane 3. Looks like Corey Peabody, but we're going to watch where J. Michael Kelly might slot. He's coming up behind the boats, and we are inside 35 seconds. John, they're at the top end. We're going to be racing here inside 25 seconds.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape. Dylan may be a little bit early, and you saw J. Michael Kelly last week, get up there too early, and he had to make a decision. Do I jump the gun or do I get disqualified? If you jump the gun, at least you get to continue to race. It's about 7 seconds off the exit pin, and here they come.
Inside 10 seconds now. They come down to the start. It is Runny in 1. It is Tate in 2. It's Peabody in 3. On the outside, J. Michael Kelly. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks to be legal from here. We'll call them as they are on the water. And John Walters said that Dylan Runny didn't bring a lot of boat speed down as he was early. He's going to trail the field into turn 1. Our leader on the outside is J. Michael Kelly, but he's already been passed to the left of him on the inside. That is going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and inside of him, it is Andrew Tate. It is Tate. It is Peabody up the backstretch. Halfway through, Peabody on the outside. He's up by about 3 boat lengths, but now, John, it's that inside lane position that Andrew's got at the top end.
Yeah, Corey's really in the best position here because he can control, how wide and how early, they get into the turn there. So he's going to try to hold and maintain that radius around there as they start down the straightaway towards the start-finish line at the end of lap 1.
A boat that's showing me an awful lot of speed right now is J. Michael Kelly because he's staying in the mix here, and he's running the biggest race course on the far outside. Our 4th place boat across the line is Dylan Runny in the Home Street now. Down to the lower end of the race course, it is still Corey Peabody. He's running in lane number 2. He's holding Andrew Tate to a nice tight line on the inside. He's driving him legal, John. He's giving him enough room, but he's not giving him any more.
Yeah, he's not giving him any extra, and he knows exactly where he's at. He's got spotters that are telling him he can see the race course himself very well, and he knows as long as he can pinch, Andrew in that first turn there, that he's going to have to come off the throttle to maintain his boat speed so he doesn't slide out into that rooster tail. So he's actually controlling the first turn, even though he's not in the first lane.
I've been making the comment all weekend long that nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle, and once again, he's out almost by a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly on the far outside has got his sight set on Andrew Tate, but that's going to be a tall order as the boats go down to the bottom end of the race course for the 3rd and final time. Our leader off the exit pin, Corey Peabody, got almost a full rooster tail now on Andrew Tate on the inside. Tate, our top qualifier. Our Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody was our 3rd fastest qualifier, but John Walters, they've got a good race setup, and he's walking away from our top qualifier up the backstretch.
They've got an excellent race setup. The water was good. Corey did a really good job, and like I mentioned earlier, lane 2 is the place you want to be here. This is a big, wide race course with big turns, and boy, you get on any farther outside than that, and it's a long, long ways around these turns, but Corey was in a position to control that first turn and really put him in a position to win.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody in the U9. Beacon Plumbing, 2nd place, is going to go to our top qualifier, Andrew Tate, U91 Goodman Real Estate. Then it's J. Michael Kelly in 3rd, driving the 8. That is the Beacon Electric. And the man who was a little bit early at the start, you saw how it can cost him, Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street. You talked about it, John. You said maybe Dylan was early. He was. He came off the corner. The other guys were behind him, got to put the foot down. They brought the momentum to the line. And unfortunately, as you said prior to the heat, you can't let these guys.
That's.
When we first started, we were in a 2,500 square foot warehouse, essentially, which is in the same building a few doors down.
Side of the race course, so it was real short to get to the race course, with the exception of Gunner. He's over here on the lagoon side, so he had to drive all the way around, which works out just fine for him because, as you mentioned, he'll have to start on the outside lane and 5 seconds off the clock. Now, that's important, the off the clock part, because some of these guys, if they have a problem, they could be off the clock themselves, 3 or 4 seconds. He doesn't have to be 5 seconds behind them, but 5 per second after the clock strikes 0.
And we just had an interesting maneuver because Dustin Eccles cut the race course again a second time. But as he came out of the infield and re-entered the race course on the front straightaway, it was made very clear last night at the drivers' meeting, if you come from that infield, as we're watching Bobby King do right here on the front straightaway, when you do that, you have no right-of-way. The boats behind you, coming up behind you, have the right-of-way. But it worked out well for Dustin Eccles because he was way in front of Jamie Nielsen, and he made sure to give his boat a squirt, so he got away, so there was no interference with a boat that was already on the race course, that being Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Up the backstretch with 155 until the start. Dustin Eccles is up there first. He might be a little bit early. John, you were saying he wanted to be down here at the lower end at a minute. Remember, he can't just slow the boat down. He's got to stay above 80 miles per hour.
Got to stay above 80 miles per hour, maintain a planing attitude. And you want to be about the apex to the exit pin when the 1 minute gun goes off. Now, you've already heard and seen some jockeying going on. If you hear that popping and banging out there, that's a compressor stall where the bleed band is locked closed, and it's getting down to a point where the bleed band is closing and the fuel control gets unhappy and the compressor stalls. Dustin's a little bit early there. If he backs off the throttle here, he risks, going under 80 miles an hour and could be penalized a lap or even disqualified. So as we're getting for the countdown for the 1 minute gun right now.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. I think Dustin's going to be okay. He went deep into that corner to scruff off a little bit of time. Now he can swing it back into an inside lane. The boats don't determine their final lane until the entrance pin of the upper corner up by the bridge. So they could still see a lane change at this point, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's the way they're going to come to the line. Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack, is going to sit in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen. That is in the Legend Yacht Transport. That is the Chartreuse and Royal Blue. Then it is going to be Bobby King in the red trimmed in black Graham Trucking to U12. We'll have Gunnar O'Farrell on the far outside and trailing the field coming to the line. We are inside 20 seconds until the start. Watch the boats fan out on the top end of the race course, and then a run down to turn number 1. And we are inside 10 seconds. Now look at Bobby King. He's got speed bringing it to the line. Is he too early? We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark. Boats are across the line. Bobby King appears to have a good start, and it is a legal start. It is legal. Bobby King, the rookie, going to take him down to the lower end of the race course, but he's got Jamie Nielsen with him, and also now Nielsen takes over the lead on the inside. Off the corner, coming up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport, looking strong. Again, another good start for Jamie Nielsen, John, as they go up the top end of the race course, but he's got company in Bobby King.
Yeah, Jamie made a really good start up there, and when Dustin got up there a little bit early, he had to slide out wide just a little bit, and Jamie slid inside of him there, got the number 1 lane. So, like I say, I think that flavor pack boat's got a little top end on everybody here. Jamie was able to, reel in Bobby there in the 12 as they got down there, and boy, they've got a real good race going here as they go to the first turn at the end of first lap.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 down to the bottom end of the race course. It is Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Bobby King with a good start and a lot of boat speed is sitting in lane number 2. He is in position number 2. And then keep an eye on Dustin Eccles. You said he had top end on everybody. He might, and he's going to try and use it, and he's got his sights set on Bobby King. The race may be for second place, but I'll tell you what, Jamie Nielsen cannot relax. He's got a right side rear view mirror that is full of the rookie Bobby King. Graham Trucking running very strong up the backstretch. We are in the middle of lap number 2. Still anybody's race up at the top end. Where is Gunnar O'Farrell? There he is. He's halfway up the backstretch. So O'Farrell is still running in 4th place. Jamie Nielsen's going to come down and put 2 in the books, and that is going to be in 1st place. But look at the run for 2nd place. Here comes Dustin Eccles on the outside, the flavor pack. He flies the 40 as he drives around Bobby King on the outside, but King's going to have lane position on the inside. This corner's going to be very interesting for our 2nd place battle. It is the flavor pack, U40 Dustin Eccles. He has now taken over 2nd place. He's holding Bobby King in tight, but our leader with a full 2 rooster tails over those 2 boats remains Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport, presents the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse is at the top end of the course and looking strong. Don't count out Bobby King. He's still got lane position up here, and Dustin Eccles is going to have to drive a great big race course to go outside the wake of Jamie Nielsen. But coming down to pick up a checkered flag here, at least unofficially in our Heat 1B, Jamie Nielsen. U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Second place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. Third place to Bobby King in the Graham Trucking, the U12. And coming off the top end of the race course in the U60, the Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway rookie Gunnar O'Farrell. He will come by and he will score. That was an interesting start sequence because we're getting some really good examples of coming to the line too early, having to pull your foot out, lose a little boat speed, etc. And we can see how it can cost you. But
like we talked about in the earlier heats, you want to be about the apex to the exit pin or the first turn there when the 1 minute gun goes off. And then you can cruise down the back straightaway, and it's only about a 7-second run from the exit pin to the starting line.
And you were talking about J. Michael Kelly and Dustin Eccles maybe trying to find a way inside of Jamie Nielsen. Meanwhile, radio personnel to Jamie Nielsen are saying, don't move, don't, oh, look at this, look at Andrew Tate. He's going to jump over to the backstretch. Now, Andrew does not have a right-of-way here. He's got to be careful, and J. Michael Kelly went right through the rooster tail of Andrew Tate, and I'm telling you right now, the officials are going to take a look at that one. The boat that is on the straightaway has the right-of-way. J. Michael Kelly had the right-of-way there, and it is going to be a question about Andrew Tate. A boat entering the course from the infield does not have the right-of-way. I'm sure the officials are going to take a look at that. We'll call them the way they are on the water. And at the top end of the race course, it is Jamie Nielsen. He is right now in lane number 1. Kelly is in 2. It is Andrew Tate in lane number 3. Watch him come off the top end of the race course. But we're still a minute 30, still a minute 35, John, until our start. So they got to go all the way down and around again.
Yeah, they're going to cruise down here, staying above that 80-mile-per-hour minimum, trying to establish and hold these lanes. Like I say, if they can get down to the first turn here about the apex when the 1 minute gun goes off, they'll be in great shape. You'll see them accelerate and start up the turn. Now, they can still change lanes until they get to the score-up buoy here, which is the entrance pin of the second turn.
Up at the top end of the race course by the floating bridge. So you've called it about 1 minute. They want to be down at the apex of the lower corner. That's where they are right now with 2-1 mark, 1 minute. And it is Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1. He is in the Legend Yacht Transport. Then it is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That's the red boat in lane 2. Coming up behind them is the predominantly white boat, the Goodman Real Estate, with Andrew Tate. And it looks like making a charge on the outside is going to be Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Flavor Pack, 37 seconds. John, as they go up the backstretch.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape right here. Actually, you know, from J. Michael K back, they're in excellent shape, and you can see they're going to start accelerating, getting after the power here. They're going to have a little bit of a speed advantage by the time they get to Jamie up there, but he's still in control of this field right now.
Jamie Nielsen is in 1. Kelly is in 2. Tate is in 3. Eccles is on the outside. They are at the exit pin of the corner at 11 seconds. So they're going to have to hold back here just a little bit. We are inside 10 seconds. Now they start to come up on the power curve. Going to be a pretty start. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. And we are racing in Heat 2A. The start appeared to be good, but we'll monitor the radio. And it is going to be Andrew Tate and J. Michael Kelly that are going to get down here first. And they are literally side by side. But once again, Jamie Nielsen with the lane position on the outside. They're going to come off the corner 3 wide. The start is under review. We'll keep an ear to the radio. Look at them 3 wide down the backstretch. And now J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric starts to move out a little bit on Jamie Nielsen, but he's bringing Andrew Tate with him. The two of them are tied together as they get to the top end of the race course and enter into turn number 2. Nielsen with the lane position on the inside, but boy, John, we got a barn burner on the outside.
Yeah, we absolutely do, and Jamie's got the inside lane, but he's really having to watch himself as the other two boats have got overlap now, and they're starting to put the pinch on him, hoping he'll have to back off the throttle, and then they'll give them a clear advantage to move over to that inside lane.
One lap in the books with 2 more to go. It was J. Michael Kelly by about a boat length and a half, but now Tate has closed that up. He's basically pulled up alongside Mike. The two of them are going to come off the lower corner virtually side by side. Looks like one boat, but now we see a little bit of white. We can see Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate, Beacon Electric tied together up the backstretch, and watch on the outside. Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. He's not being lost. He was in 4th place. He has now moved past Jamie Nielsen as they get to the top end of the race course. Dustin Eccles driving a mighty big race course, but our leaders still tied together as they come down to put 2 in the books, John.
Yeah, as they come down this straightaway here, J. Michael Kelly's got the catbird seat. He's, the inside lane, even though he's not in lane number 1, but he's able to, keep Andrew on his hip right there and really control the race course. The boat is accelerating good. They've got great boat ride.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Andrew Tate really flew the 91 as he got down to the corner. Kelly's going to come out first. Now he's opened up a little bit of water on Andrew Tate, making about 4 or 5 boat lengths. I'm telling you, Dustin Eccles not going away in 3rd, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to run down Andrew Tate. J. Michael Kelly, you heard John Walters say he is in the catbird seat. He's sitting on an inside lane. He's just got to negotiate this north turn, come through clean, come down, and he will pick up a checkered flag and an apparent 400 big points, and that's going to be huge in the national high point standing. We'll get to that later. Here they come, top of the course, come down to put 3 up and 3 down. Checkered flag flies. It is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. He will finish first. Andrew Tate will come across in 2nd place. A hard-charging Dustin Eccles will come across in the U40, the Flavor Pack. And Jamie Nielsen, he will come down and finish in 4th place. He had that lane on the inside, but boy, it didn't take long for Kelly and Tate to move out on him. And like you say, then it got... Boats, remember, have to sit at the dock, and a driver actually has to have a crew member with a hand on the boat at the 5-minute mark before they can take off. But just like that, John Walters, they are coming away from the dock, and that means we're inside the 5-minute mark to our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Once again, let's run down who is going to come out on the water. And the first boat out is powder blue and white. It is the U1. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by rookie Dylan Runny. The boat you're looking at on the screen, for those of you on the live stream, the U9, the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle yet. He's driving the white U9, Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody. The predominantly red Graham Trucking U12, driven by the rookie Bobby King. He is away and up on the race course. And joining him on the race course, I see he is pulled away from the Stan Sayers Memorial Pit area, the U60, the Beast, Unleashed, presents the Miss Thriftway with Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 2B is 3 minutes and 50 seconds away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydroplanes are on the Ted Jones race course. So now it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I've been reading that script to make sure everybody's safe. What am I missing on the water?
Well, I think you're going to see Dylan make a real effort here to, get an inside lane and make a great start. He only finished 4th in that first heat there, so he's needing points. And, he dropped a few points to, the other boats there. And we're into the 2nd round of heats here. Only a couple more chances to gather enough heats to get into the final. So I think he's going to make a real concerted effort here to get an inside lane, make a good start, and hopefully win 1st or 2nd place here. Of course, there's 3 other boats out there that have different plans, and they don't think that they want him in that final heat. So they're going to work real hard to push him around and keep him outside there. So the rookie here in the 12. With Bobby King, he's got some learning to do. He's still learning the boat. He's still learning the race course. He's still learning these other drivers. And then Corey. Corey's got a pretty good handle on things right now. And like you say, he's kind of the main piece in this puzzle right now, and nobody's really figured that out. But I think they're going to pay real close attention to him, and hopefully, in their minds, they're thinking that they're going to be able to contain him and control him, not let him run away from him.
2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start of our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Gunnar O'Farrell comes off the lower end of the race course. Behind him is Corey Peabody, and just entering the lower turn is the Miss Home Street, Dylan Runny. The boats are spread out on the backstretch right now for our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Looking at the clock, 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the start of Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Top end of the race course, Bobby King. He surprised me, John, in that last heat because he moved to an inside lane, not the inside lane, but he went ahead and said, I'm going to come in here and mix it up with you guys. And he had a nice start. He had a good run in that first heat.
He did have a nice start, and like I say, he's no stranger to fast boats and having to race hard. So he's going to come down here a little bit early right now. Looks like he's going to cut across maybe, or at least he's slowing way down, trying to get an inside lane down here and be in that first turn with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, well, what it looks like to me, if he can hold it off and he can keep his speed above 80 miles an hour and get down there, he's going to have an inside lane. He may have the inside lane. I think he's sitting tight to the buoy row right now. A minute 10, 1:10 until the start, and it is. Bobby King is sitting in lane number 1. Oh, this could be a lot of fun.
This could be a good heat.
We are at 2 seconds, 1 second mark, 1 minute to our Heat 2B, presented to Seafair by Beacon Plumbing. And now, off the bottom end of the race course, Bobby King in the U12, the Graham Trucking, predominantly black, trimmed in red. He is on an inside lane. Next to him in lane number 2 is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. That's Corey Peabody. He was a winner in his first heat. Then it is going to be Dylan Runny in the powder blue and white Miss Home Street. He's going to be in lane number 3. Look for Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beast Unleashed to drop back on the outside. He's way on the outside right now. He will drop back. He has to start 5 seconds behind the clock. I like where they are, John Walters. They were 20 seconds at the entrance pin to the corner. Look at King sitting in 1. I like it. Now, Dylan Runny, he's out in front of everybody, but he's not going to have a lot of boat speed. We are coming up inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be a very clean start. Corey Peabody's going to break the clock. It is a legal start, and he's going to get down to the corner first, but he's got Bobby King off to his left on the inside lane. Look for Corey to stick the white nose out first, and there he is, Corey Peabody. But he's got a left side rear view mirror full of Bobby King. I'm liking this rookie, Bobby King, John.
Yeah, I definitely like Bobby. He comes from a long line of good boat racers. His dad, of course, being one of those. He's going to hang right in there. At this point in time, Corey's got enough overlap. He can take the lane, but I bet that he won't. He'll give him plenty of room down there. He's got boat speed on everybody right now. He made a great start leading these guys around the upper turn.
The boat you don't see is the Home Street, the Miss Home Street. He is on the outside. He is in 3rd position. You couldn't see him up the backstretch. Here comes Corey. 1 up, 1 down, 2 to go. Still got Bobby King on the inside. It's about a rooster tail lead for Corey Peabody. The race is going to be for 2nd place. Can Dylan Runny run down the rookie Bobby King on the inside? He's going to have to do it on a big race course, John.
He is, and there's a long ways around this race course, but Dylan's got the boat in a good lane right there. He's accelerating really hard. The boat comes off the turns, and he appears to have boat speed on Bobby when he gets to the other end there. But he runs out of straightaway just about the time that he gets in a position to make a move.
I'm telling you right now, Bobby King has closed up on Corey Peabody. He's only back by about 4, maybe 5 boat lengths, and he's got an inside lane. Bobby King is making a run out of this on the inside. King right on the buoy row. They're going to come off together. Peabody on the outside. King has taken the lead off the corner, and they're going to be side by side as they come down and put 2 in the books. Bobby King driving the daylights out of the Graham Trucking on the inside. He has moved away from Dylan Runny, who's dropped back in 3rd position. 3rd and final lap, lower end of the race course. How do we do down here? Corey Peabody found some extra speed. He's opened up about 4 boat lengths. I'll tell you what, I don't know if King surprised Corey or not, but he made a run on that last straightaway.
It's hard to say exactly if maybe he snuck up on him there, but Corey's opened up a little bit of ground here. He's given Bobby enough room inside there. He's given him a lane in about a foot, so he's got to get in there and tighten up that radius.
Now we're back to keeping an eye on Dylan Runny in 3rd. I don't know if he can run down Bobby King. He's way on the outside, got a big race course to do it. But meanwhile, here comes the leader. Here comes our apparent winner of Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. It is the Beacon Plumbing. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle. The race for 2nd, it's a doozy, but it's Bobby King by 5 boat lengths over Dylan Runny in the Home Street. Holy cow, the rookie just keeps showing me more and more. Top. We are ready to go boat racing here on Race Day Sunday at the Home Street Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup at Seafair. Here's who will be racing in our Heat 3A, sponsored by Home Street Bank one more time. It is Bright Red. It is driven by J. Michael Kelly. It is the U8 Beacon Electric. Then the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. The boat comes away from the dock. It is chartreuse. It is royal blue. It is trimmed in red. It is driven by Jamie Nielsen. Then you have the U40. They are away from the dock as well. It is blue and yellow. It is driven by Dustin Eccles. And the white boat with the orange or persimmon, if you would like, stripes on the boat, looks like the Miss Thriftway. For those of you of a certain vintage, it is the Beast Unleashed presents the Miss Thriftway. It is driven by Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 3A is just under 4 minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everybody must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course, and they are on that course now. We need you up and on the shoreline, please. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:30 to the start of our Heat 3A, presented by Home Street Bank. John Walters. Yesterday, the boats came out of the pit area, and immediately everybody was jumping across the race course. This morning, first heat, nobody.
Yeah, that's just the difference, I guess, depending on when they left and how they, lined up on the course there. It's so important to get the inside lane here, and they're able to go. Now, we've just got one that's cut across the infield here, and Jamie Nielsen has taken a shortcut across the course, not going through the first turn here, trying to get a position to establish that position in the inside lane.
And that's a perfectly legal maneuver. Now here comes Jamie from the backside to the front, and that too is a legal maneuver. He can only cut the race course where he just did it. He can cut back to front like he just did at the north end of the race course. He can cut front to back at the bottom end of the race course, which he did before. And Jamie Nielsen, is going to follow J. Michael Kelly in the U8. That's the Bright Red Beacon Electric. He's going to follow him down to the lower end of the race course. Meanwhile, coming off the bottom end of the race course at 2:23 until the start. 2:20 now up the backstretch. The first boat up there is the blue and yellow. That is the Flavor Pack. And Dustin Eccles, he's followed by Gunnar O'Farrell in the predominantly white Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. 2:06, John, 2:06. This is the milling period. A lot can happen over the next couple of minutes.
It definitely can, and we're a minute away from that 1 minute gun. Most of these guys are going to want to be about the apex of the first turn down here when the 1 minute gun goes off, and then they'll stroll up the back straightaway, hopefully in the lane that they've chosen. When they get at the other turn up there, they're going to be about a 12-second run from the exit pin to the starting finish line.
All right, 140 to the start. Everybody went up to the top except Jamie Nielsen again. He cut the race course again. He cut it back to front. He cut it at the top end, a legal maneuver. So here comes Dustin Eccles down the front straightaway. He's coming down here at 1:25. You heard John just say you want to be at the apex of this corner about the 1 minute mark, so they might be a little bit early. Jamie Nielsen trails both Gunnar O'Farrell and Dustin Eccles down to the corner, and then your last boat going down there, which actually I like perhaps the positioning of J. Michael Kelly. That's the red boat. He's going to be the last one down there. Fans, our boats, when they come out on the race course, they are not assigned a lane. They actually jockey for those positions, and to get those lanes, the last piece to that puzzle is you cannot drop below 80 miles per hour, and that will be determined when they take the data acquisition boxes out of the boat after the heat. The data will tell them if they dropped below 80. We saw that yesterday inside 40 seconds heading up toward the top end of the race course. John Walters.
Here they go up the back straightaway, and you can see Jamie pulled off that magic again, got the inside lane in a good position there. I think that everybody's going to close it up here pretty quickly, and there'll be a race literally from the exit pin to the starting line.
20 seconds until the start. We're going to go 3 times around. J. Michael Kelly, he's going to have an outside start, but he's going to come into lane 3. That's right, Gunnar's got to stay on the outside. The lane was there for him. We are inside 10 seconds to our start. We are coming up on 5. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and man, that one's going to be close, but I think it was good. It was the Flavor Pack and Dustin Eccles who broke the clock. I think he's going to get down to the turn first, but he and Kelly are tied together. The start is under review. Who's going to come out first? It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, but he has got J. Michael Kelly with him on the outside. He's got Jamie Nielsen on the inside. It is a legal start. It's a legal start, so everybody is good. Up the backstretch, you got 4 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, closely bunched, but look at Dustin Eccles. John Walters, he's really moving.
He definitely is, and Dustin put himself in a great position there to use that top end. He laid back just a little bit, hit the starting line with top end on everybody, got to the first turn first, and put himself in a position to control that first turn.
And here he comes down to put one in the book. You couldn't see him up the backstretch, but J. Michael Kelly driving the Beacon Electric. It's bright red. It's on the outside. And he's only back by about 3, maybe 4 boat lengths. We are on lap number 2 of 3. The race is out front. It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack being chased by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Do not forget about Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport is in 3rd place. He's on an inside lane. Now Dustin Eccles got Kelly back by about 5 boat lengths. There's that straightaway speed, John. You talked about it.
Yeah, he's pulling everybody going down the back straightaway there again. He gets into the turn in a nice lane, very controlled, leaving room for Jamie to get through there without any conflict. He's just trying to, come out wide as he can, push J. Michael Kelly around the race course a little bit and use up some of that time. And you can see, they get very close coming off the exit pin.
Yeah, and when he's pushing J. Michael Kelly out like that, what he's doing is leaving the door wide open for Jamie Nielsen to pick up ground and save ground on that inside lane. Kelly's driving an awfully big race course. It is Dustin Eccles off the lower end of the race course. He is in first place, but now you see Jamie Nielsen has moved up alongside J. Michael Kelly. They are going to be dead even as they come off the bottom end of the race course, and it's that big course, John, that J. Michael Kelly's having to drive that's opening the door for Jamie Nielsen.
It's a long ways around for J. Michael Kelly as he's on the outside down there, and you can see Dustin's got a little top end on. Everybody gets down there first. Now, when J. Michael has such a big area to make up the difference there, Jamie running on that inside lane's got a much shorter distance, so they come off the exit pin dead even.
Checkered flag flies for Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, and now it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric holding off a hard-charging Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. 1, 2, 3. They come across the start-finish line. Gunnar O'Farrell, our rookie, will come home and pick up 4th place. Points of the U60 The Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. We promised some good side-by-side racing. We had it. And you've been talking about it all weekend. That 40's got some top end speed. He got it wound up that time, and he just slowly moved away from the field.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Dustin did a great job of making a start there, and you can see when he went down the back straightaway, he was in a position to go a little wide and a little deep down there by the floating bridge. So when he turned around and started heading south, he had a head of steam on everybody. He probably had 10 miles an hour on the pack by the time they got to the start line there. And he just used that to his advantage, get to the first turn first. And whoever gets there first can control that. And Drew followed him through there, and then Bobby followed him around there. So they're kind of pacing each other. They're kind of checking each other out here. What have you got? Where do you want to be? How are you going to do it? In the old days in the sport of boxing, when they had a fight that really wasn't much of a fight, they called it a boat race. We're going to borrow, we're going to borrow a word from their sport. I think the only way somebody's going to win this is going to be a knockout.
Now, well, that works for me. Now, watch this. Now, these are a couple of teammates here. Dylan Running going to cut the race course, going to cut it right in front of Andrew Tate. Now, he came out. The boat that is moving to the race course from the infield, in this case, the home street and Dylan Running, he doesn't have any right-of-way until such time as he passes 2 buoys. Now, he got nowheres near his teammate. That would be the Goodman Real Estate and Andrew Tate. There would be no incident there. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to the start. Here comes the rookie Bobby King across start-finish line. He did a great job yesterday of getting an inside lane. We'll see how it plays out this time, but right now, watch where Andrew Tate's going. He is going to go on the outside of Dylan Running. Very, very interesting. He jumped to the outside of the powder blue and white boat. It looks now like maybe he has found his way back inside, John, but that we were watching on the monitor here from the drone. That was an interesting maneuver by Andrew.
It was an interesting maneuver by Andrew, and yesterday Andrew came from the infield to the backside there and got real close with JMK, and they had a little discussion about that last night. This morning, you can see that as they get ready to come up the back straightaway here, Dylan needs to win this heat. He's not got the points that he'd really like to have at this point in time, so he's going to lead everybody around there and try to take charge of this thing, make a good start here, and lead everybody to the first turn.
Yeah, and I said it looked like Andrew Tate had maybe come back to the inside. He has not. Dylan Runny right now coming down the front straightaway. He is sitting in lane number 1. Behind him and now in lane 2, just to his outside, albeit behind him by quite a ways, is Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate, the U91. Then lane 3 is slotted Corey Peabody. Nobody has beaten Mr. Peabody in a heat that he has finished. And then on the outside right now is Bobby King in the Graham Trucking, coming up on 5 seconds to the 1 minute mark. The boats have to declare the lane they are going to race in. They do that by the lane they are in when they get to the entrance pin of the floating bridge turn. That's the lane they have to bring to the start-finish line. Then standard overlap rules apply. So we could see a lane change now, but we're getting late in the game. I don't see anything happening. If Dylan Runny, who's way out in front, John, he's got to watch that 80-mile-an-hour rule.
He does. That was a problem that he had yesterday, and he's kind of setting him up for the same sort of thing this time. I really think Corey's in the best position right here. He's back behind everybody. Dylan's trying to get up there to assure that he gets that inside lane. But yesterday when he did that, he was able to get up there in the inside lane, but he was a little bit early, and when he had to back off, the other guys came around with boat speed on him, led him to the first turn, and he ended up finishing back in the pack.
Yeah, the 2 boats from Madison are leading the field up here. The home street's going to come off the corner first, then it's going to be Andrew in lane number 2. Corey's behind the field right now as they come off the top end of the race course. We are inside 10 seconds. We're inside 5 seconds. We are 4, 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing, and Corey Peabody is back at the start. It is the 2 Madison boats. It is the Goodman Real Estate on the outside, Dylan Runny on the inside, and the home street that are out in front and by a large margin. Coming off the corner, it is a legal start. Everybody is legal. Dylan Runny in the home street's got the lead over teammate Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. Keep an eye on that white boat in 3rd place. It is Corey Peabody. Nobody has beaten him this year. But right now he trails the 2 boats from Madison, Indiana. John Walters, can he make up that much ground?
He's got a lot of ground to make up, and Andrew's pushing real hard on the outside there as they come down the outside. He's actually kind of protecting the boat on the inside of him because Corey's got to get around the first one first, which is going to be Andrew. So he's got a long ways to go. This is a big race course, big wide turns. It's tough to make up any ground here. Dylan's in a perfect spot right there on the inside lane. Good lead going into the first turn. The water's a little bit rough. You can see the kind of the sawtooth in the skid fin water there as it's hooking and unhooking as he comes off the exit pin and with the lead.
And I mentioned those 2 boats are from Madison, Indiana, but do not expect Andrew Tate to just sit back there in 2nd place. If he's got a shot at getting around Dylan Runny, trust me, he will take it. Andrew Tate is a racer, and he is closing on Dylan Runny at the top end of the race course. There's Runny, there's Tate, lane 1, lane 2. We're going to come down and put 2 in the book. They are going to be side by side. Andrew really hung the 91. He's got a lot of air underneath it. He had to pull his foot. We start lap number 3. It's a 2-boat length advantage for Dylan Runny at the bottom end of the race course. Now this corner could really help decide our Heat 3B here. It is Runny on the inside. It is Tate on the outside. Andrew's going to try and get around him. He's only back by a half a boat length. They are dead even out of the corner. John, it doesn't get any better than that.
It absolutely doesn't. They're dead even. Andrew's got a little boat speed on him here on the top end. He's pulled out about a boat length on him. He's going to control the second turn now as he gets in there. He's going to try to hold Dylan as tight to the buoy line as he can, get him to pull his foot a little bit, bleed off some boat speed, and hopefully that he can out accelerate him coming off the turn here and get to the finish line first.
They have been racing against each other since they were 9 years old. Oh my goodness, this is going to be close. It is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing they painted that boat last week. I think he got him by a coat of paint. Oh my goodness, that was close.
Wow, what a race. What a race.
And we said it on lap number 2. I said, don't expect him just because, quote unquote, they're teammates, to expect Andrew Tate to let him have that win. It's just not going to happen. It's not in the DNA of Andrew Tate. And he was actually asked about that before the season started, and he said, yeah, we're teammates. He said, but I don't like that word. He goes, Dylan wears powder blue, and I wear gold and white. And when we get on the water, I want to win. Holy cow, that was some kind of fun. And, John, I can't say it.
Come up from the backside here and hope that he can catch somebody by surprise.
I thought maybe Corey might jump, but he did not. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4 through the lower corner. Jamie Nielsen's going to come off the exit pin right now. We are at 225 to the start. Then it's Andrew Tate coming up behind him, and interestingly, inside of Andrew Tate is Corey Peabody. Watch those two up the backstretch. And now Corey's going to give it a squirt and come up right alongside Andrew and say, oh, by the way, I am here.
Yep.
So you can't move over, and right now I am in front of you. This is some of the cat and mouse and the gamesmanship that gets played during the milling period as these guys jockey for position, reminding our fans that are watching on the shoreline and online on the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel, lanes are not assigned when you come out of the pit area. That's what this milling period is all about. Now, 1:45 until the start. John, you've been talking about the fact you want to be down here at this lower corner at the apex at about the 1 minute mark. They've got 34 seconds to make that happen.
Yeah, Jamie's in good shape here right now. He's just, on a plane above 80 miles per hour, going to cruise right down there. Corey's in good shape, too. He's a little bit farther behind him. I think that, these two guys that are following up here, they're watching their watches as well. They've got, spotters that are talking to them. They've got people up there looking at the GPS. They've got a lot of help to be where they need to be at the right place, the right time on this race course. So I like to be right about the apex of the turn when the 1 minute gun goes off. That gives me some options.
And they are just about there. 2 seconds, 1 mark. White flag on the race course. That means we are inside 1 minute. Now, coming off the bottom end of the race course, Jamie Nielsen in the U11. Legend Yacht Transport's going to sit in lane number 1. Corey Peabody behind him. He is going to be in 2. Then it's going to be Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate in 3. On the outside is going to be Bobby King in the U12, the Graham Trucking. Inside 40 seconds. 40 seconds to the start. John, take him up to the top end of the race course.
Well, I like lane 2 right here. That gives you the most options in and out. And Andrew's already proven he can drive around guys on the outside. As they start to accelerate up to the floating bridge there, Corey's in good shape, and he's going a little slower because he's got a shorter distance to go. Jamie's still holding down that inside lane as they come around, and Bobby King coming up hard on the outside. So they come off this turn here. They're going to want to be about 12 seconds from the starting line, and they get off to the power right now, and the guys on the radio are telling them, go, 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 it's green. Bobby's on the outside. He's just a little bit ahead. He had to back off just a bit there, and everybody else is pushing really hard. So we may have a gun jumper here. We're going to have to take a look at that, and it's going to be under review, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Bobby King may have got along across that line a little bit too early. The start is under review, but we'll call them the way they are on the water. And right now, the way they are is Jamie Nielsen is going to come out of that corner first. Nielsen is out first, but there is Tate on the outside. There's Corey in between them. 1, 2, 3. You've got a good boat race up the back chute. And now Andrew Tate, Corey Peabody begin to separate themselves a little bit from third place, and that being Jamie Nielsen in the U11. Top end of the race course. It is Tate on the outside. It is Corey on the inside. Off the exit pin, side by side, gonna come down and put one in the book. Yes, Bobby King in the 12 did jump the gun, but our leaders are legal, and it's Peabody by 2.5 boat lengths on Tate as they cross the line at the completion of lap number 1, but Andrew is not gonna go away. Down to the lower end of the race course on the second of 3 times around. What do we got coming off the corner? Corey Peabody, but Andrew right there with him. Ooh, this is as good as it gets. Here we go again, John Walters, and Andrew Tate is really showing me something on the outside as he's hanging with Corey, John.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and actually Andrew's in control right here. He's got, just a little bit of a lead. When he gets down there, he's going to be able to to determine the lane that that Corey's able to run in, because he won't let him drift outside. Now Corey's got a great lane and he's inside there and he's moving out from the buoy line a little bit to give himself some room. But these guys are after each other and they're going hard, side by side.
Coming down to put 2 in the book with 1 to go. And if you could pick a leader, you're better than I am. Down to the low, and
Whoa.
Tate is really flying the boat. Picked up the right
Andrew,
side
what?
sponson, but he got it back down in the water before they got to the turn. That's what he's got to do. Corey on the inside. Where is Andrew? Where is he? He's right there with him. He's back about a boat length and a half. See if Andrew Tate can make one last run up the backstretch at Corey Peabody. Peabody, our national high points leader. Andrew Tate, our top qualifier. These are tall, and there goes Andrew. Andrew is pulled up alongside and taking the lead at the top end. Got a boat length. This is going to decide it. Going to try and hold him in tight. He does. Everybody hang on. Here we go. This is for the checkered flag. Corey in 1. Going to be Tater on the outside. And Tater is going to finish in second place, 2 boat lengths behind Corey Peabody. Oh my goodness. We've got a good race off the top end of the race course between J.B. Nielsen and Bobby King, but Bobby King jumped the start. He will have an extra lap to go. Oh my gosh, John.
Wow.
This is too much fun.
It is too much fun, and that was really exciting. You know, as they came down this front straightaway, there's very little wind right now on Lake Washington, but what wind there is was right in their face when they were coming down, and you could see that Andrew was flying that boat, trying to get every ounce of speed out of it that he could get, and he got it pretty high several times.
Just as we approach the 5-minute mark here, that there is a little bit of a breeze blowing up the race course. And I know you know about this Genesee Tunnel down here.
Yes.
And that wind comes down there, comes across the race course. What are these drivers thinking about that? Is there enough wind right now to get their attention?
There absolutely is. In fact, we saw it in the last heat. You saw Andrew coming down here picking up that right side, and the wind is blowing right in his face at that point. And it kind of comes across through the little gap in the hills right there, right through the pit area. And right here at the start-finish line is where it seems to be the worst. You can see the flags on the boats out here, you know, blowing pretty good as the air is moving across the water. You're starting to get a little chop on top of the ripples and things on top of the chop and the rollers that are out there. So it's starting to look more and more like the Ted Jones race course, lumpy and bumpy.
Lumpy and bumpy sounds like a couple of guys. All right, we're coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the start of our Heat 4B at the 2023 Home Street Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup race here on Lake Washington. So far, everybody's been very well behaved. J. Michael Kelly came out of the pit area, stuffed himself in lane number 1, and he's been there ever since. Nobody's made a move. And I honestly, John Walters at 145 at the top end of the race course, I don't think we're going to see anybody make a move.
I don't think so either. I think they're pretty well established where they wants to be. J. Michael thinks he needs to be on the inside lane here in order to win this thing. I think Dustin out there in lane 3 thinks he's got enough top end to get to the first turn first and be able to control that turn when he gets there. With Gunner out here on the outside, he's not going to be able to get there in time to mix it up being on the outside lane. So I think it's going to be a real tough one. Dylan's obviously got his work cut out for him here as he's cruising up there in between, trying to, you know, make enough room for himself, get there quick enough, and they're just about right on time. We want to be at about the apex when the 1-minute gun goes off, and they're right there.
They're right where they want to be. Gunner is a little bit early, but he will be way on the outside. He can scruff off time as he goes up the back chute. Once again, the U1, the Miss Home Street, the U8, the Beacon Electric, the Flavor Pack, U40, and the 60. Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway, Runny, Kelly, Eccles, O'Farrell. Up the backstretch, J. Michael Kelly sitting in lane number 1. Dylan Runny, the rookie out of Rumson, New Jersey, sitting in lane number 2. Then it is Dustin Eccles in the yellow and blue Flavor Pack. Coming up on 25 seconds. I like where they are in the race course. An unofficial mark I have is about 20 seconds at that entrance pin. They got there right at 20. Now the boats have fanned out. There's a lot of lane space between them. Gunnar O'Farrell's going to be on the far outside. It's going to be Dylan Runny in lane number 2. Kelly's going to be in 1. Runny's in 2. Gonna be Dustin Eccles on lane 3, the outside. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it appears to be clean from here. And John Walters, you wanted to get Dustin Eccles down to the lower corner first. I think he got down there first. It is a legal start. Can he get the boat around the corner? J. Michael Kelly on the inside's got the lead coming off the pin, but he has got company with him. Runny's with him, and so is Dustin Eccles. We've got 3 boats sharing the same rooster tail, John.
Yeah, they look really good, and it's hard to tell one from the other right now. Thank goodness for those drones up there. We can actually see what's going on. But J. Michael's leading everybody down the back straightaway. He's running downwind right now, and by the time you get to the apex, you're going to see these guys getting on the foot pedals, trying to calm them down. Dustin's coming up hard on the outside, and when they come down the straightaway, they're going to have a pretty good breeze right in their face. These guys are going to be driving these boats with their feet, and their feet are on those wings.
Boy, oh boy! Dustin Eccles hung the 40 for a long time. You mentioned the wind, John. Sorry to trample you, but I know you weren't looking at him, and he was just hanging it there on the front chute. Kelly down to the lower end of the race course, lap number 2. And Runny's going to come off. He's given ground on the outside. And boy, that we saw what happened there when he had to pull your foot. I'm sorry there a little bit, but Dustin Eccles having to pull his foot, that cost him a second place position. And now it is Dylan Runny trying to run down J. Michael Kelly on the outside.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Justin is trying to make up ground here on that top end, and unfortunately he can't use the top end right now, especially coming down this straightaway with this wind in his face. And like I mentioned earlier there, when they got themselves in trouble, these guys are going to be driving the boats down this front straightaway with the front wing, and their feet are doing that. So they're hanging on to the steering wheel, and Dustin's coming off hard about halfway down, just about to the start finish line here. He's got so much ground to make up, I don't think there's a chance that he can catch up with the boys.
Now it's interesting now to see if Dylan Runny can make up ground on J. Michael Kelly. Kelly's going to come off the turn with the lead. He's got about 5-6 boat lengths. I'm not sure Dylan Runny can run him down. I know J. Michael Kelly's looking in that right side rear view mirror. He's got radio guys in his ears telling him right where Dylan Runny is, and it is almost a full rooster tail for JMK, but Runny doesn't want to go away, and he's willing to take a shot at J. Michael Kelly on this, the third of 3 times around the race course. Kelly took a hop up there at the top end of the race course, but he's able to settle it down, come off the pin clean. The checkered flag flies. J. Michael Kelly, driving a Beacon Electric, is going to come down and pick up an apparent 400 first place points. Good run for Dylan Runny in the You Won the Miss Home Street. He will come across in
Light and the third place boat, Vans PX. They're all in lap 5.
Hey everybody, it's Bobby Flay, and I'm here with my friend Chef Brooke Williams.
Black Friday week is live at Target. Hurry, these deals end Saturday, only at Target.
Every Thanksgiving has a bird. A surprise guest.
Yo, we got the Value Mart, the Budweiser, the Sunny Jim, the Atlas Fan Lines, the Redmen, and the Pan Pack. Coming around lap number 2, Sunny Jim is in the lead, Pan Pack is in second place. Atlas seems to be in, no, Redman is in third. Ooh, Bud and the Atlas tied up. Look at that. Fifth lap, Pan Pack, Sunny Jim, Budweiser, Atlas Van Lines, Value Mart, and Redmond. That's the way we're looking right now. Coming up to the last and final lap. Can we make a move? We are right within the rooster tail. Of the Redmond. Am I about to lap the Redmond? Is that what that is? We got the Atlas or Madison. Let me see. We got the Madison first, Budweiser second, Pan Pack, your boy third. We're going to South Turn. The Madison, the Bud, and the Pack screaming into the North Turn. Man, can I catch up and make it 3 wide? We're right there. We're right there. We gotta get a little bit closer.
With 400 liters of storage, capable of hauling up to 400 pounds. The all-electric F-150 Lightning.
Welcome to the happiest place on earth. That has all the
What?
you never knew could exist. So you're a new kind of happiest every time you visit. Only at the Disneyland Resort. Now, kids 3 through 9 can visit a Disneyland Resort theme park with a
Oh
limited
yeah.
time kids
Yeah. It's not the happiest place, man. We're trying to race, brother. Trying to race, brother. Trying to race, brother. Okay. We're trying to race, brother. What? It just froze on me. We're gonna go with some Hawaii Kai. the Miss US, the What a Pickle, the Miss Seattle, the Cole Roy, the Gale 5, the Miss Seattle 2, the Hawaii Kai, and the Thriftway. Let's go, 2D Thunder. Let's go. Oh, good turn. Good turn. Let's go. Good turn. Get close. Get close. Yeah. Get close. You're gonna have a hell of a lap on your hands this time, brother. Here we come. Oh, that did it right there. Oh my God, it really did it. Now the battles for second. Oh. Man. Let's go one more time. There we go, get on the inside. Yeah, buddy, here we go. We're cutting off the course. Wahoo. Yeah, we chopping it down. We're about to go 3 wide. Yep, we're about to go 3 wide in this turn. This is going to be a very nice turn right here. What I tell you. What I tell you. It's just gonna get it's just gonna get better. Yeah, buddy. This next one. Oh man, he was oh my God, man. This dude was just sitting in the middle of the, oh my goodness. Oh, and I was making my, every time I want to do, oh man, every time I'm looking cool, it makes me look like a fool. Oh man, we were on our way to try and come back. Oh man, we was on our way to try and come back. Oh, what the? Oh, Jesus, Lord, we really messed this race up. Let's go. Can we catch the Vans PX? Can we catch the Vans PX? We are the Squire Shop. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Yep.